Thank you all for joining us this evening. We do have a fairly short agenda on here, but before we get started, if you'll join me in standing and doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Mr. Powell's going to lead us in the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you so much for this time. We thank you for the ability given to us to be here, for the privilege that this is, the wisdom we need tonight. We thank leaders of our cities, our state, our country, and we just ask you bless.
Welcome to our September 5th, 2017 Planning Commission meeting. Paul? Here.
Haney. Here. Mueller. Here. Parker. Okay, Parsley.
Here.
Pinato. Here. Powell.
Here.
Tyler.
Here. Okay.
Parker's not here.
Nope.
I marked him as being okay.
And any questions of the minutes from last week? Motion, Ms. Haney?
Second.
Second by Mr. Covert. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. L 17-17-24 is a tabled item per staff. Item, sorry, we'll keep going in and out on this. Lot split 17-26, Charles Thomas, 2531 Wilson Cemetery Roads. And we also have a waiver, 17-11, of subdivision requirements presented by Blue and Associates.
My name is Wes Luker. I'm with the Blue and Associates.
Well, we have a picture where Aaron
Okay.
is. All comments from utility companies and other city departments prior to approval or waiver of the subdivision requirements will need to be granted. You want to explain to us what you're trying to do with this track split?
Yeah, what Mr. Thomas is wanting to do is he's taken his, I believe it's 19 acres, and he's going to divide this up into 3 tracks. Track 2, I think, if you've got the survey plat in front of you, I don't know if you do or not, but on one of the tracks, which is going to be a 3-acre track, it's going to be a 14-3, and then a remainder of a 1.5 that he has a shop on. But he has intentions in the future on the 3-acre track to build a new home.
Do you have a septic system approval for those lots to see that they can each handle a septic system?
At this time, I don't believe so.
The existing track, one, does it have a house on it now?
That is a shop.
Okay.
It's like a garage, essentially.
Does it have a bathroom in it?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't have to have a
No.
septic system? All of them have frontage on a public street, so this is not a tandem lot.
Mm-hmm.
Questions or comments from the audience? To the commission?
The waiver will be a recommendation to council on waiver of the subdivision requirements, which includes street improvements.
These are both motions. Need to do the motion, waiver first?
The waiver is a call.
Call for the vote and the waiver.
Call for vote by Mr. Powell?
Compton.
Yes.
Covert.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
Mueller.
Yes.
Parsley.
Yes.
Pinato.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes. Waiver passes 8-0. Lot splits?
Motion. Subject to staff comments.
Motion to approve, subject to staff comments.
Motion by Mr. Powell. Second. Second by Mrs. Haney.
Covert.
Yes.
Haney. Mueller,
Yes.
Parsley,
Yes.
Panado,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Compton.
Lot split passes 8-0. Item on the agenda, Board of Adjustments, B 17-45, Arvest Bank, 415 West Emma. Variance for modification of parking lot presented by Uva Phillips.
Hi. You have any questions? I know you've got the paperwork in front of you, or I'm happy to go through what we're planning to do.
Let me see if I get a picture so everybody.
Okay. Well, let me just preference it by saying we're trying to add a second ATM in a very, very busy area where we have a great deal of customers use that ATM. It has gotten to the point that we're having to load that ATM 3 and 4 times a week to be able to keep up with the number of withdrawals, which adds to the issue of security and safety for those that are trying to load those ATMs with that amount of money. So adding a second ATM will just be able to accommodate a little bit more and allow us to service more customers, or all customers, maybe on a quicker basis. And so, believe it or not, that one ATM, along with a couple of others that we have here in Springdale, are the busiest ATMs in all of Arvest land. Can you believe that? That's crazy, isn't it?
So it'll be 2 ATMs that are,
Yes, 2 different lanes, 2 different ATMs. The main request for this is allowing the parallel parking, the diagonal parking, and allowing a couple of the vehicles to be able to hang over just a little bit from the tire stop, which would be in the sidewalk area. That was the only main concern that was given to us when we first presented it to the city. We thought we'd ask and see, what you all thought about it. We can go back to parallel parking, but you all know as well as everybody else, it's hard to parallel park. And if it's just 3 spots, it cuts down on how many spots we would have there. So,
I'll wait till Patsy gets up here and we can talk about some of that there.
Okay. We're going to get a picture here in a minute. And I apologize, I didn't listen to everything you said, other than you're adding a second ATM. And actually, we're making the situation better in that you can't pull directly off the street into a parking space, which is something that we don't allow with the new form-based code and any of that kind of stuff. The variance is, what I would consider to be minimal to make this work. I think we've created a better situation. We've got more landscaping than we have now. We have a sidewalk that connects that makes it easier for people to travel through. You can see on there where you have the spaces you pull directly off the street. That always creates a problem. Not the pulling off, it's the backing back out. And we didn't want to change them to back-in parking spaces, so we've redirected this. So I don't know, unless somebody over there has a problem with it. I haven't heard from anybody. Anybody have a problem with any of this? I haven't heard from anybody, so.
Right?
Okay.
Any questions or comments from the audience? We got time.
Jim Reed, Springdale City Council. Just, can you explain to me what they're going to do there with the vehicles, Patsy?
Aaron, can you bring up the drawing? We've got a drawing that the planning commission, the planning commission has the drawings in their packet, and there should be one in the one that you got too, but. Okay.
So they are going diagonal parking instead of straight in. Okay. Well, that looks fine to me. I've seen the drawing here. I just was concerned about them sticking too far out in the street.
Oh, no, we're
Yeah.
making it much better than it was before because they're actually using the drive-in lane they have now to create 2 locations, and the parking is that way too. Oh, okay.
As long as it's wheelchair accessible around where they go over the sidewalk.
Yeah, they have you have the wheelchair.
Right there.
The stuff on there, yeah.
There you go.
There we go, right there. Now, can you make that bigger? There we go. Really makes a better situation on Middle Street, as far as not to be backing in and out of the street.
Anything else? Comments from the audience? To the commission?
Call for the vote.
Call for vote by Mrs. Haney.
Parsley?
Yes. Hughes?
Powell?
Yes.
Tyler? Compton? Covert?
Yes.
7 yes, 1 recuse. Adjustment passes. Thank you. Next item B, 17-47, SWEPCO, southwest corner of Gutenson and Bacchus, variance for reduction of minimum distance between drives, variance for reduction of minimum distance of 80 feet to the collector intersection. Presented by Todd Wren or Jeff Milford.
Hi, my name is Todd Rind with American Electric Power SWEPCO.
You want to tell us what you're trying to do at this location?
Yes, what we're trying to do at this location is we're requesting a driveway variance, and the reason why is we have reliability projects going on at Dye Substation, and this driveway will allow us to get large substation and transmission equipment in and out of the substation, and it will only be used on a periodic basis, and will require pre-planning to use the driveway.
So they'll be getting an additional curb cut along Gutenson, and the distance from the radius at Bacchus down there is less than 80 feet, and it's less than 150 feet between drives. This is not what you're going to use on a regular basis, only when you're bringing large pieces of equipment in and out.
That is correct.
Go out there, if you've been out there recently, there's a big pole that's laying right there in the area where they're going to put the driveway in. So it's not ideal. If they were doing it on an everyday basis and had stuff brought in and out there, it could be an issue. But since it's going to be just when they're doing major modifications or bringing in big equipment to the substation, I think it'll work. Danny, do y'all have any issues? Anybody over there got any issues? Okay. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the audience? To the commission?
How far back is that fence from where the curb is?
I'm going to have to rely on one of my experts to help me. Jared, could you answer that question?
Come up here. Can you come up to the microphone, please?
This is Jared Kane with CDS Murray. Jared has been helping us with the civil work.
Excuse me, let me get to the right page here.
It depends on where along there you're looking, you know, it gets pretty close. That's an odd shape, that odd piece there belongs to the city, because if you'll remember, we bought a duplex and moved the street over because there was a misalignment, so we have that little odd shape in there, and the fence is pretty straight down through there.
We're kind of on a curve, and I want to say it might be about 50 feet.
What would be the length of a vehicle? Would it be a vehicle with a trailer, a truck with a trailer? How long would that be?
Typically, there could be up to what's called a WB67 or a WB50, which is a wheelbase of 67 feet. That would be what would be getting in and out of there. But as Todd had mentioned before, it would be a planned move. We would have the gates open and we would have somebody there manning it, also, you know, mapping a route in and out of the station. So it wouldn't be that you would have a truck waiting at the gate or hanging out in traffic.
We did have that discussion. That would be a terrible place for a truck to be sticking out, or a trailer sticking out in the middle of the road when you come around through there. We did have that discussion at the very beginning. And we discussed, could they not use the existing driveway and modify that? So we've been through several scenarios trying to figure out something that would work to get the equipment in and out.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Call for the vote.
Call for the vote, the two variances together.
Okay. Call for vote. Mrs. Haney?
Mueller,
Yes.
Parsley,
Yes.
Benado,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Compton, Covert,
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
Variance is passed 8-0. Thank you. Next item, B 17-48, Jaws Trucking LLC, 1012 Schmeeding Avenue, variance to allow heavy equipment storage on unpaved parking, presented by.
Yes. Me and my business partner bought this land. We originally wanted to do inventions in the building, and we found out quickly after that there's a lot of people that needed parking in Springdale for their big trucks and heavy equipment because they wouldn't allow them in front of the residences. This is a place that's pretty much hidden from most of Springdale business. It provides an easy access in and out for big vehicles, and the cost to pave the back lot with the compensation what we get for the parking would cause an undue burden on us because it's very expensive to pave. Most all of our equipment in there is heavy duty. We have backhoes. There's a skid steer, and you can see that in there there's mostly trucks back up in there.
Staff comments?
Well, you know that financial issues is not the reason for a hardship, but would you be willing to do a bill of assurance to pave it within 2 or 3 years? Is that a possibility?
Well, actually, we did some costs on that to pave, and to pave for an ordinary lot in the half an acre on the back half of the lot, which would be about 22,000 square feet, would be about $77,000 just for regular parking. And for heavy equipment, it actually adds about 3 times the amount because you're hauling at least about 70,000 pounds. And we have a weight scale here. This is one of our trucks has 60,000 pounds on it, and that would trip
Is
the.
there a way to designate an area for heavy equipment like this, that you could do gravel for that? Because we have a provision for that, but the area that you park just semi-trucks, could that be paved? Have you looked at that as a possibility?
We do have several semi-trucks back in there, and we don't know if it would be a dump truck or not. And those semi-trucks weigh 70,000 pounds fully loaded. We have the same issue with the heavy equipment and semi-trucks.
Okay.
And the total cost would be up between $77,000 and $231,000 to pave that. Because we're talking, the heavy equipment, it's $3.50 per square foot for ordinary asphalt, which would be $77,000 for a vehicle. But whenever you're hauling heavy equipment, the price really jumps.
Okay.
I use 22,000 square feet for it's just a little bit more than half an acre, but I round it up.
Are there any comments from the audience? To the commission?
I think the provision we have is leave it gravel like that was more for construction equipment, right? Is that correct, Patsy? Not for semi-trucks.
But if he's bringing backhoes and that kind of stuff in it, that would be that heavy equipment. But I was looking up the exact, I haven't got there yet, but I'm about to get there.
So this is not your equipment, you're just allowing it to be stored here?
Yes, that's correct.
So you don't know if it's going to be loaded or not, or if it's going to be construction equipment or not?
That's correct. That's correct. And a few times I've actually seen where the truck drivers will actually load up and park it there, and then another guy will come and drive because I think they have a log that they can only allow so many hours for driving, so it really helps them out too. And there's a great benefit for Springdale on this. We have Fleet Pride across the street where we can do some repairs. Each vehicle we have one dump truck ourselves, me and my partner, and we had like $10,000 worth of fuel and another $10,000 in tires that we bought in Springdale just for the one truck.
And the definition of heavy equipment in the ordinance where it allows areas to have a different paving surface is heavy equipment refers to heavy-duty vehicles designed specifically for executing construction tasks, most frequently involving earthwork operations. They are known as heavy machines, heavy trucks, construction equipment, engineering equipment, heavy vehicles, or heavy hydraulics. But you would allow just semis to park there like they do at at a truck stop or anything like that, will people be allowed to stay with their vehicle, or are they just going to go off and leave it?
Usually they just go off and leave it. It's stored there for a few days until they get back on the road again.
Okay,
It's
you
not-
said usually. Does that mean they can or they can't? Can they stay and stay in that cab while it's parked there or not?
No, no.
Okay.
They normally don't. It's local truck drivers that just, it's not out of town. It's mostly somebody that comes home and stays. Well, all of them, I believe.
Is this property gated?
Yes, it's gated, and we did put up a screen on the outside so that you can't see on the inside. on
So
that.
how do they get, just, is there a security code they get in and out with that, or how, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's correct. There's security code in and out.
24-hour access?
Yes. And it's in an area where we have O'Brien's Trucking up there. We have Goodyear, which deals with trucks. We have Fleet Pride across the street, which fixes trucks.
Hey, Danny, did y'all have anything on this? Fire department have anything? Okay. Any other questions or comments? I mean, I think one of the suggestions was put out there was for the trailer parking like this, that would not be anything that you would consider as far as paving that particular area and designating a percentage of the property for that use.
It would be, we wouldn't know which is for the trailer, and we get about $70 per space. So the total income, the income on the building is basically about as much as the expenses are right now, and so we're breaking even at this point.
But we're asking other businesses to pave if they're parking trucks. We actually, it's not been too long ago that we changed to allow construction equipment because there was some additional cost for the turning as they're loading and unloading. But I think in the past, that's what we've allowed is the loading area for construction equipment to be gravel like that, but not where the semi-trucks are parked.
Okay.
The hardship that we face is we're charged with trying to uphold the variances and ordinances of the city and do what's best for the city. Excuse me. And the hardship is you chose to use that business there, we didn't. So by you choosing to let them stay there or wanting to be that business, which we certainly understand, it doesn't become a hardship, or it shouldn't become a hardship on the city to have to withstand that or not follow the rules and regulations because it doesn't currently break even. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I hear you.
Any other questions or comments?
Call for the vote.
Call for a vote by Mrs. Haney?
Parsley,
No.
Panato,
No.
Howell,
Yes.
Tyler,
No.
Compton,
Yes.
Covert,
Yes.
Haney,
No?
Mueller.
Yes.
It's tied 8-8, or, I'm
So
sorry,
the
4-4 on there.
variance request doesn't pass because it has to have a majority. You have the right to appeal. The appeal is through the circuit court, has to be filed within 30 days.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item, B 17-49, Felipe Martinez, 1707 Theodore, reduction of front setback from 30 feet to 25 feet, reduction of side setback from 8 feet to 5 feet, reduction of rear setback from 20 feet to 10 feet, presented by Juan Martinez.
Yes, my name is Juan, and I'm representing my father, Felipe.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're wanting to accomplish here?
We want to build a storage shed. It's a little bit bigger than the normal size. So we asked the city what we need, and basically we're filling out the paperwork and everything. It's going to be 13 by 14. And if you guys have any question, it's not going to be electric. It's just going to be a little bit bigger than normal size.
What about the height of it?
That's not going to be too high. Just can't remember what's the measurement on that one. I don't have it with me. But it's going to be the what you guys require for the height.
Okay.
Michael, you need to address this. Mike, they've applied for a building permit? Okay, you want to discuss it a little bit? Do you know what the height is off the building permit?
There's no height listed on the building permit, but 16 foot is the maximum it can be, as the gentleman said, and that's what they'll have to meet.
Okay, so it's a front setback from 30 to 25. It's going to be put beside the house? Where's the front that you're trying to get the front setback? I don't understand that.
No, from the back of the house.
Yeah, I think that's perhaps a miscommunication there. The setback, of course, in this zoning is 30 foot in the front, and that is the front property line adjacent to the street. And I think perhaps you were working under the understanding that it was from the back of the house.
Yes.
Oh,
They
okay,
don't
so
necessarily need one in the
there's
back of
really
the
not a
house.
front, okay,
Right.
that's what's.
It's going to be the side
okay.
and the back.
Okay, and then, because on the drawing, and then on the sides, it will be from 8 feet to 5 feet. You're putting it 5 foot from the fence on the side, correct?
Yes,
And then on the back from a 20 to a 10.
yes.
Okay, so strike the front one. That was the one that didn't make any sense. Dwayne?
As usual, we don't support side or rear setbacks.
Any other comments? Patsy? Okay. Any questions or comments from the audience? To the commission?
Call for the vote.
Call for vote by Mrs. Haney.
Donato,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Compton,
Yes.
Covert,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Mueller,
Yes.
Parsley.
Yes. Passes 8-0. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Director's report?
Work session this month would be the 19th at 5:30. Does that work? Upstairs, 5:30, we'll talk about the northwest quadrant. Aaron won't be here, so we won't have all the statistics, but we can start talking about that some. Those of you that were on the tour, I think that was a good time. That we'll schedule another one later in a month or two and see if we can get some of the rest of you to get a chance to see it.
Great.
I don't have anything else other than that.
That's it? Okay.
Could you
Any other
schedule it,
questions?
Patsy, could you schedule it when the mayor's not speaking? That I'd like to go over see him speak.
Okay, I'll find out what his speaking schedule is next time, right? Yeah, okay.
There you go. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.